Hi all, I welcome you to this session on the Python full course that contains everything that you need to know to master Python for data science. Let us first see the basic requirements for our course. We will be needing these two. First, interpreter, and second, PyCharm, where we will write our code. Let's see how to download these two in our laptop or computer. Go on Google and type Python interpreter download. Go on this website python.org. Click on this download button. That's how you can download Python interpreter. Now let's see how to download PyCharm on our machine. We will go with JetBrains. Download this community one. This is how the PyCharm looks alike. Why have we downloaded interpreter instead of compiler? Because most of the languages need compiler, but here we have downloaded interpreter for Python. So what basic difference between interpreter and compiler? The first difference is interpreter runs program line by line, whereas compiler runs whole program at a time. So in comparison to interpreter, compiler is faster and interpreter is bit slower than compiler. But Python is a compiled language, so we need interpreter for it. What is the example for interpreter? Python. For compiler, C. So this is the difference between the two. Here we come on our PyCharm. Let's see how to add comments in Python. One way of commenting in Python is using hash command, and another way is by writing the statements inside the triple quotes. So here we can add as many as lines of code in the program, whereas if I entered, then this is the normal program area and it will not be counted as the command line. So these are the two ways of writing the comments in Python program. Let's see how to print in Python. What are the ways to print in Python? Print is the already defined keyword in Python. So what are keywords and identifiers? We will learn in a while. First, let's see how do we print by using double quotes and writing something inside it. I have printed here hi, and here you can see my hi is printed. What is another way to print it? Print in single quotes, and here I will write hi guys, and let's run our program, and here you can see my hi guys is also printed here. There is a third way to print multi-line, as we right now added in comments. Here I can use multiple lines. Hi guys, how are you? So it will give the output. So this is my first print hi, second print hi guys, and third print hi guys, how are you all, and question mark. Let's understand what is keywords and what is identifiers. So keywords are nothing but the work that print word is doing here is a keyword. So there is already some piece of code is written inside this print class in Python program, which allows us to print here. A print keyword is a system reserved word that is predefined. What is identifier? Other than keyword, whatever is written inside a code, everything is identifier. Let's see the difference between the two here, keyword and identifier. So keywords are system reserved or predefined. They already have a specific meaning to them, which we cannot use as our own words inside a program, whereas identifiers are the names defined by a user inside a program for the names for like classes, variables, and or a function. So these are defined by user, whereas the keywords are system reserved. These we cannot use as our words that we use as in identifiers. So I hope this is clear to you now. Let's write a program. Let's first define a variable. This is a, which is an identifier because it is defined by me. So suppose I assign a value to this a, that is 10. Now if I want to print a, I will pass the a attribute in my print function, and let's see what does it return. It returns me the value that I have assigned in a. Let's see what type of value is a. Here I can write value of a is a, comma, and here I will write type of. To know what type of value is assigned to a, type of a is, there is already defined function for this, that is type function, and I will pass my parameter here, that is a. Output will be, I have assigned the value of a as 10. So the value of a is the value of a 10. Type of a is, so what is the type of a? It is the type integer, so it refers to the class int. Let's see another type of class. Here we will take b equals to a float value, that is a decimal value. Suppose here we take 20.5 and I copy this. Let's see what does it returns. Value of b is 20.5. Type of b is class float. So b refers to the class float because it is in decimal. Let's have another variable as c, and here we pass the character, and when I run this, it gives me class string. So even if I pass the character, it gives me string. And what if I want to pass a string to C? When I run this, it will also show me class string. So whatever is written inside the single inverted comma or double inverted comma, it will give me the class string. Here I have passed the values. What if I want user to give the values? I want an input. So let's move on to another program. Now let's take an input from user. First I will define keyword, variable name, and here I will take input function where I will pass a message to let the user know that I am requiring an input from the user. So please enter the value for val. Print val. The output is asking for my input. I pass here 89. It prints 89. The value for val is comma val. Now if I run this, enter the value. I need to enter The value for val is 474. What if I want to check the type of this variable val? So let's check its type. Print type val. Now if I run the program, I will pass the value as integer 1 2, enter. The value for val is 12, but it shows me it refers to class string. But is it really a string value? No, it's not. So here I will change it to int if I am willing to take the input as an integer on which I can perform some mathematical functions. I will require two values here at least, val1, val2, int input. Now I will ask the user for the input for another value, input for val2, and here we don't need this right now, so I add some comment, arithmetic operations, another variable. Suppose I took C here, and here I do val1 plus val2, and I enter. Print addition is comma C. So let's see what does it gives. Yeah, so I pass on the value 76. Next value, suppose I give 23 and enter. So it gives me the value 99. So what if I want to add other operations as well? val1 minus val2, and here I write print function. Here I write subtraction is comma C. Now next I want to add the value for multiplication. So here I will write val1 asterisk val2, and I will print this. Print multiplication is comma C, and last I am going to add the val1 divided by val2. So here it will give me print division is comma C, and when I run this program it is asking me the values, so I will pass on the same values as before, 23, and when I enter it gives me the values for addition, subtraction, division and multiplication. Let's run the program again, and now let's take some simple values. For value 1 I take 20, and for value 2 I take 10. Now let's enter. I hope this is clear to you now. So let's see our next program for condition. What if I want to compare two programs, like I take here A equals to 100, B is equals to 20, and next I compare it by writing if statement. So what does if do? We pass some condition into it to check whether the condition is true or false. So only if the condition is true, it will enter into the if statement, else it will not go inside the if statement. So here we will print A is less than A is less than B. There we have another if statement where we will check for if B is less than A and print B, comma, is less than A. So let's run the code. So 20 is less than 100. So we can clearly see B is less than A. When the code goes here, on checking the condition, 100 is less than 20. So here the code gives output as false and it won't go inside the if statement, and in here it returns the condition true. On checking B, the value of B is 20 and the value of A is 100. So 20 is less than 100, it's true. Program on if A equals to 100, B is equals to 20. Take the input from the user. C input. It is by default string, so we want input in string only. So we will ask the user whether they want the addition of these two or subtraction of these two. So we will write enter your operation, add or subtract. We will write the if statement. If whatever the value the user has passed inside C, we will compare it with add if user has passed this value, colon here, and here I will write print A plus B in case user has passed the value sub. So we will print here A minus B. Let's see what output does it gives. Please enter your operation, addition or subtraction. Suppose I pass on add, it gives me the addition of the value, that is 120. So here the condition add 1 is true, so it will execute for add input, and whereas this one will execute for the subtraction input. So let's run it again and check for the subtraction one, SUB, and it gives me 80. Yeah, it's true. So we are done with this. Our next program will be using if statement. We need to find even or odd. Let's start. So we took an input from the user, so for even or odd, that, and now the input function, and here we will pass the message, enter the number, and here I will write the condition if A mod 2 equals to, and if I will divide it by 2, it will give me the quotient. So I want the remainder here. So the remainder of any number which is equals to 0. So if this condition goes true in case, then my number is even. print even here. What if the number passed by the user is odd? So what is the condition for odd number? A mod 2 is not equals to 0. So how do we write not? By the exclamation sign. It represents not in Python is not equals to 0. And here we will add the comment if true odd. So if my remainder is 1, it will give me the output as the odd number. Let's run it. Let's take the input from the user. Suppose I took 23. So it gives me that it is odd. So my second condition is satisfied here. Let's run it again and let's pass on the number. Yeah, so I enter. Yeah, so it gives me even number. So this is a simple code for even odd number using if statement. So till now we were using only if. Now we will see what if else does. Let's take an input from the user, n is equals to, we will so this program is also about even or odd. So here we will take the input as int because it is by default string, and now we will add the input function here. We will pass on the message, enter the number, and now we will add the condition. So what was the condition in previous program? It was number mod 2 equals to 0 colon enter. So we get our indentation here for if statement, so which shows that we are inside the if statement, and whenever I press back button here, I go outside the if statement. So I need to print inside if statement. So I will print it is an even number if my number is equals to 0. Else I don't need to write another condition here, rather I'll just put colon and enter, and after this indentation I will directly print odd. So let's see how does it work. Enter the number. I will enter the number 85, enter. So it gives me straight away odd. So when my if condition is not satisfied, it won't be checking for another thing or another statements passed inside the if statement. Rather than it will just print, or it will just give me the output whatever is written inside the else statement without checking any condition, because there is no condition passed for else statement. So let's check our program for even number. So yeah, so now this is even. So this gives me, this is an even number. So that's all for today. Just remember guys, you don't have to know everything. You just work. That doesn't have to be perfect every time. The most important thing is just get started. You will be glad that you did this. So that's all for today. And if you like my video, don't forget to subscribe it. We will meet in another Python tutorial. Till then, stay safe, stay happy. Thanks for joining me, and good luck.